Let's take a look at what went down on the show today. First of all, we talked a little bit about Lee Enterprises. Of course, they're the owners of the Times here locally, and they've been able to tap dance around bankruptcy for quite some time, and they stuck it to what is commonly known as vulture investors. Lee Enterprises owns about $1 billion in debt. That's not a good thing, but recently the junk bond markets have strengthened, and they've been able to go that direction to kind of stick it to some of these vulture investors. And that was a market or a finance page article in the Post Tribune. I mean, not the Post Tribune, but in the Wall Street Journal. And they also mentioned Mr. Lee, and I forget his first name. He wrote a biography, and I love this quote. It's kind of what they started. You know, the Lee Enterprises is a newspaper chain. They go after local newspapers, and you got to respect that. And I do respect what they do here in our community. And but they were started by Mr. Lee, and he has this quote, and I kept coming back to it today. He says that a newspaper has to be financially sufficient enough so that they could, quote, look any man or corporation or institution in the face and tell that man or corporation or institution, hey, the Hammond fire situation was a big topic this morning. Of course, several firemen who had been transferred, and several of those are firemen, I think they're all men, are firefighters who have who voted to support Oscar Sanchez. Of course, he is going against Mayor McDermott in the Democratic primary, and the executive committee of the firemen, they said, hey, why don't we support Oscar Sanchez? The full vote of the firefighters union, evidently they went to say, hey, let's endorse Tom McDermott. So maybe there was hell to pay, maybe there wasn't. The idea was that some are saying that there were politically motivated transfers. Some of these guys were put to other stations and on different shifts. Ed O'Malley of the Firefighters Union came on the air this morning and said, hey, listen, it's just a weird coincidence, and you know, some of these guys are thinking it's politically motivated, political retribution. But he also said, hey, you know, we may have to look at going in, getting lawyers, and filing grievances and that kind of thing. Well, lo and behold, we got Deputy Fire Chief Jeff Smith to call in and say, hey, listen, transfers happen all the time. This is just a coincidence. Then Fire Chief Dave Ham calls in and he says, hey, listen, we do transfers all the time. I did not talk to Mayor Tom McDermott about any of these transfers. This is not politically motivated. You can make up your own mind. We presented it. If you want to hear it again, maybe I'll play it again at another date. Also, we went on to the Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission this morning, and that was pretty good stuff. Bill Baker, the head of that commission, along with Dan Repay, the executive director, talked about funding. How are we going to fund, now that they spent $200 million to fix the Little Calumet River, how are we going to fund the maintenance? Of course, that's one of the hottest topics around here. Baker basically saying, hey, you know what, we just need the money to fix it so people don't flood. Dan Repay kind of echoing that. A lot of callers calling in, including Steve Fowler, a long-time confidant with Mayor Tom McDermott, saying, hey, some of those plans that were there, they didn't include everybody. Also, we want local control over the money. That played out on the air. Also, Town of Highland was in. Cecile Petro talking about some of the developments going on in the Town of Highland. She says she'd like to see the Kennedy Avenue and downtown Highland corridors maybe get a new look and get some more development in there. Of course, they always want to develop where near the Borman and Kennedy Avenue, where the Public Works facility. Cecile Petro says, hey, we'd move out of there if some developer came along and wanted it. Once again, Tuesday, April 12th, 2011. It's gorgeous out. Enjoy your day. AM 1230 WJOB.